when Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, decided to go with Nentawe Yilwatda as the APC chairman, we all thought that he wanted to balance the equation. By the way, I said Bola Ahmed Tinubu decided to because he's a leader of the APC, and we all know that, anything he says is a final say. As I was saying, we all thought that, it was because they wanted to balance out the equation because of a Muslim ticket. They wanted a Christian as the APC national chairman. But you guys, there's a catch to this. Can you guess? Anyway, it turns out that Nentawe has a tie to Inec. Good. Nentawe used to be a resident electoral commissioner. In fact, he has conducted elections in about 5 different states. Can you imagine that? The same person is now involved in politics, is now, being made the APC national chairman. A lot of people were surprised when his name was announced because he's a newcomer. And, the normal thing that they do in APC is that most people that becomes APC national chairman are usually former governors. But this is the first time that we are seeing that, the person that is being nominated or being picked for the position wasn't a former governor. It's just a former minister. So what is the catch? We knew all along that, something is fishy and, there must be more to this story, but now we are getting to find out that it is because Nentawe used to work for Inec. You all, before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? What are you doing on YouTube if you're not subscribed to Newsroom Nigeria? This is a place you need to be at, so please turn on the post notification bell. Give this video a massive thumbs up. It's really important. That way YouTube will be able to recommend this video to other YouTube viewers all around the world. Lastly, please leave your opinions in the comment section below. Without further delay, let's delve right into the details of today's news. The All Progressive Congress APC has described the opposition's fears regarding the recent appointment of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Nentawe Yilwatda, as baseless. Newsroom Nigeria reports that the emergence of Yilwatda as a national chairman of the APC has raised concern among the opposition parties due to ties with the Independent National Electoral Commission. Yilwatda, a former engineering lecturer at the Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi, was appointed resident electoral commissioner in July 2017 and posted to Benue State. During his 4-year tenure in office, the new APC national chairman participated in the conduct of elections in Benue, Anambra, Osun, Rivers, Cross River States, and before resigning in 2022. In an interview with Punch, the National Secretary of a Coalition of United Political Parties, COP, Peter Ame, described Yilwatda's appointment as a threat to Nigeria's democracy. Ahmed said the decision to elevate Yilwatda to such a prominent position, despite his recent ties with Inec, is not merely a political maneuver, but represents a deliberate erosion of institutional safeguards that ensure free and fair elections in Nigeria. He said the recent appointment of Professor Nentawe Yilwatda, a former rec of Inec, as the national chairman of the APC should spark widespread concern about the independence of Nigeria's electoral system and the health of its democracy. Shouldn't there be a law prohibiting INEC officials from involving themselves in politics? Shouldn't there be a law like that? Because I don't understand why, somebody who was just recently conducting elections in several states across Nigeria is now being made APC national chairman. And first of all, even before then, he was given an appointment in Tinubu's regime, just 2022. That's about not even up to 3 years ago. He was conducting elections and now he is a minister and also an APC chairman. Can you imagine that? I just think it's just not... all of this is just red flags. I'm just seeing alarm bells everywhere in my head right now because it's not just right. It's not. which means that all of the secrets and secret information, official information that is not even supposed to get out, there is no way it will not get out. There is no way it will not get into the hands of, these politicians. And then he has worked with Inec before. He knows how it works. He knows how they do their thing, which means that, he still has friends even within Inec. He can easily pay his way into winning elections. So where is a free and fair election? Is this even fair? Is this fair? Anyway, moving on. Ame said the decision to elevate Nentawe to such prominent political position, despite his recent ties with Inec, is not merely a political maneuver, but represents a deliberate erosion of institutional safeguard that ensure free and fair elections across Nigeria. He said the recent appointment of Professor Nentawe Yilwatda, a former rec of Inec, as the national chairman of the APC, should spark widespread concern. This development, confirmed on July 24, 2025, during the APC's National Executive Committee meeting, raises serious questions about the impartiality of Inec, the integrity of Nigerians' electoral processes, and the ruling party's commitment to upholding democratic principles. The decision to elevate an individual with recent ties to Inec to such a prominent position is not merely a political maneuver. It represents a deliberate erosion of institutional safeguards that ensure free and fair elections in Nigeria. The appointment of a former rec as the INEC's national chairman, barely 3 years after his tenure as INEC, creates a perception of compromised neutrality and undermines public confidence in the electoral body. Yilwatda served as a rec in Benue State from 2017 to 2021, a role that required him to embody impartiality and oversee elections with fairness. His subsequent involvement in partisan politics, including his candidacy in the APC's 2022 governorship primary in Plateau State and his role as a state coordinator for the Tinubu-Shettima campaign organization in 2023, raises serious concerns about the potential politicization of Inec. The transition from a supposedly neutral electoral official to a high-ranking position within the ruling party suggests a troubling overlap between electoral administration and partisan. And very right, within the shortest period of time, he has, grown to now become APC national chairman. There is something fishy. There is more to this story. Immediately he resigned in 2022. In the same 2022, he became APC's governorship candidate in a primary election in Plateau State. And then he was subsequently given an appointment by the Tinubu administration, and now he's being made, he was even a member of the Tinubu campaign organization in 2023. Somebody who was just like yesterday, like play, he was just INEC rec. Today, he's APC chairman. Moving on. The move fuels suspicion that INEC's independence may be vulnerable. This is not even maybe. INEC and politics, they don't jam together. It goes to the highest bidder. Their loyalty goes to the highest bidder. There's no fairness in INEC. There's no fairness. May be vulnerable to infiltration by political actors, casting doubt on the fairness of past and present elections. In response to the opposition concerns, the Director of Publicity of the APC, Bala Ibrahim, dismissed the opposition's fears, stating that Yilwatda's emergence did not confer any undue advantage on the ruling party. He said, and I quote, "Is INEC a cult? Are political parties not engaging former INEC staff as advisors or consultants to work for them? There is nothing wrong with someone who worked somewhere before working for a political party. There is nothing wrong with that. But I think there should be maybe a 10-year gap or a 7-year gap between the period that they worked for INEC and the period that they are allowed to now join politics, because it's just too quick. You cannot be an INEC official in 2025 and then by 2026, you are vying for a position on the platform of a political party. No. It's just all shades of wrong. How are we sure that it is not somebody that, bribed you with that position? How are we sure that you did not strike a deal? Allow us win this election, help us, mutilate the result for us. And then I assure you that when we finish this election, you will be able to vie for a position that you desire. Are we sure that that's not the situation? It's just too close for comfort. Moving on. Who says a retired coach cannot be an advisor to a team? He can. There are some companies that, when you work for them, they usually give you about maybe 2-year gap. You cannot go and work for their competition company. You cannot go and work for a company that is their competition. Even if at all you want to work with a competing company, you have to wait for like maybe 5-7 years before you can do so. And I think that the same rule should apply to Inec. Because with this, Inec can easily be infiltrated by politicians. People will start getting involved in politics even while working with Inec. So when they are ready to vie for a desirable position, they just, resign and go straight to vie for the position. You don't even know who is involved in politics and who is not. Whereas they are supposed to be impartial, they are supposed to not belong to any political party. They are supposed to be neutral. So where is the neutrality? Are you telling me that the person that resigned from Inec in 2022 and vied for the post of a governorship in that same 2022 has never been involved in politics before? He was not into politics. He just joined. The first day he joined, he collected form to vie for the post of governorship. Nah, it does not work that way. I don't think so. He must have been involved in politics for quite a while before he decided to finally resign and, vie for the position. He knows that now that he wants to vie for a position, eyes will be on him. Everybody will know. That's why he had to resign. If not, if it's possible for INEC officials to not resign and still vie for political posts, I'm very sure that a lot of them will do it. Moving on. Our national chairman was an ex-staff member of INEC, but he does not have access to any of the umpires' facilities. Okay now. His knowledge of INEC can help the party, APC, to avoid anything that can be a disadvantage to it. This is what I'm saying. This statement just verified everything that I've said so far. Let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.